The CASCAR Super Series is back in familiar territory, the Autodrome St-Eustache, just north of Montreal, Quebec. And the championship points chase is red hot.
St-Eustache, the second last race of the season, will go a long way to determining the points champion. As he has for most of the season, J.R. Fitzpatrick enters this race as the points leader. If anyone was anticipating that this third-year CASCAR competitor would fold under the pressure of being in the thick of his first championship chase, they were sadly mistaken. Fitzpatrick is now the prey, and he's being hunted by a couple of crafty past champions. Just behind JR in the points is the revitalized Ford driver Kerry Mix. Then there's Dave Whitlock. This three-time national champ is on a charge with wins in the last two oval races. The chase and the hunt are on as we bring you round number 10 of the CASCAR Super Series from the Autodrome St-Eustache. This is the St-Eustache 200. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Dave Bradley, along with Billy Rose Jr. and Todd Lewis as trackside. Billy, what does it take to get around this 4/10 of a mile oval?
Well, Dave, it's a very flat speedway, and the best way is set the man going into turn 1, get up underneath him coming off of turn 2, and close the deal going into turn 3.
Also may not see any pit stops here tonight as the drivers look to stay out of trouble. One guy who hopes not to get into trouble is J.R. Fitzpatrick. He holds a 41-point lead over Kerry Mix in the Castro point standings. Whitlock has crept up into third with his two big wins at Mosport and Cayuga. He's standing by with our own Todd Lewis.
Well, that's right, guys. Dave Whitlock has been red hot as of late. Dave, a couple of victories in this nice new car. What's the plan for tonight?
Well, we're going to try to keep this NTN Bauer Gridley Heads Dodge Charger up front. You know, we've had a good couple oval races here the last two events, and we got ourselves back in championship chase, so we just want to keep plucking away at them, and hopefully we get a good finish tonight.
All right, Dave Whitlock, of course, along with the other CASCAR Super Series competitors. First order of business today was Castrol Time Trials, and it was Kerry Mix who really battled the elements to make up his quick Castrol time and put him on the pole. Of course, they had engine troubles at our last event in Cayuga, but Kerry Mix in the 02 Ford Taurus circles the St-Eustache track in 17.50 seconds to put him on the pole. Kerry, what a job your guys have done just to get this new motor ready for the car tonight. You've done what you needed to do and put the car up front for the pole position in tonight's race to try to battle back in that championship. Can you lead them all at this place again?
Well, we hope so. You know, Ford Taurus is doing pretty good today. I got to thank all my crew and, you know, family that's helped me through this because, you know, we haven't had much sponsorship this year, and we definitely need that to continue on for next year. And, you know, we just... we have a few motor problems, but I got to thank AP's giving me good power, and we'll get our program ready for next year and do a good job then.
All right, Kerry Mix will lead the 17 CASCAR Super Series competitors into quarter one. The green flag from St-Eustache when we come back.
Round number 10 of the 2006 CASCAR Super Series from St-Eustache is brought to you by Castrol Syntec, outperforms all other leading motor oils. Mopar, authentic performance. Gridley Heads board games, to play is not enough. And by Fast Eddie Racewear, get geared up. The CASCAR late models have fired up and are ready to go here at St-Eustache. 200 laps on tap.
Well, there we take a look through the field. There's number 5. That's Andre Courcelle. He's a CarQuest racer from St. Jerome, Quebec. And there, too, fellow Quebec racer Andrew Ranger lines up 15th for his first ever stock car race.
Lining up behind Ranger, local racer Richard Duravage. Now let's take a look at the full Leland starting grid. On the pole, as mentioned, EO2 of Kerry Mix, then DJ Kennington to the outside of the front row. Don Thompson Jr. and Ron Beauchamp Jr. make up row number 2. Then back to row number 3, one of our other two-time winners on the season, Dave Whitlock, and Mark Dilley still looking for his first win of the season in the number 9 Dodge. J.R. Fitzpatrick, your points leader, will start to the inside of row number 4, and Jason Hathaway looking to Rookie of the Year status here this year. Brad Graham and Doug Brown make up row number 5. Then a look back to row number 6 brings us Peter Gibbons and Jeff Lapsevich, who has a win on the Edmonton Road course. Inside of row number 7 brings us Scott Steckley and Jim Lapsevich in the MC Tim Hortons Monte Carlo. Then few Quebec drivers rounding up the field. Andrew Ranger in the 88 and Andre Corsal in the number 5. And rounding out the field, the number 12 of Richard Duravage in the My Epoxy Chevy.
Well, Dave, let's take a look at the Logos Auto Parts race analysis here tonight. It's a 4/10 mile, very flat oval, as I said earlier. We're going to go 200 laps, 80 miles. It's a crystal clear night, as we said earlier. Hopefully, no pit stops.
A great night for racing and lots of fans in the stands here. A packed house here at St-Eustache. With news on our new member of the CASCAR community, here's Todd.
Guys, for the second straight week, it's an open-wheel racing star behind the wheel of the 88 Lou's Barbecue Taurus for Dave Jacobs Racing. This week, Andrew Ranger, known, of course, for the Champ Car World Series, told me he ran his first laps in a stock car here at St-Eustache, and it's all new for him. New braking zones, new places to get on the power, even new ways to look out the front windshield. A real learning curve for Andrew Ranger.
Well, Dave Jacobs is really doing a good job renting out his race car and giving these open-wheel guys some experience. It has to be tough, Dave, to watch his race car race here because Dave has done well in the past at this speedway.
And we have 6 on board with us tonight. Of course, Ranger will be carrying one of them. Our points leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick, will be carrying another. That was a good look of Sean Gibbs, the starter, given the 1 to go before we go green. Whitlock also has an onboard and will ride along with Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the Mopar Dodge as well as he starts up near the front of the field. And there's a good look at Donnie Thompson in his office. 5-time CASCAR Super Series champion looking to do battle here tonight. And our final onboard will be with DJ Kennington in the Castrol Dodge as he starts outside of the front row. The Dodge Charger Daytona RT pace car pulls off onto pit lane. It's Kerry Mix and it's DJ Kennington on the front row. They wheel through 3 and 4 for the final time under caution. On to the main straightaway they go. Looking at starter Sean Gibb. Green flag is in the air and we're underway in St-Eustache.
Down into turn 1, Kerry Mix has the preferred line right there in the bottom. Don Thompson Jr. getting his nose in there to do as we say. You got to get down in. Oh, look at this side-by-side to turn 3. There's not a lot of room.
How hard is it to get bite in the high side here as you see Beauchamp start to slide back up high?
Well, it's really tough here. This place is ultra flat going in the corners, and the way the cars roll over in the corner, it feels like you're falling off the speedway. It's very tough on the outside.
Well, Thompson gets up alongside the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington, paced into the back bumper of the O2 as he follows your leader through. Kennington falls back into third. Now he tries to get line, but Whitlock's there.
Whitlock gets in the turn 1 right there in the bottom to squeeze DJ out another spot. And look over the shoulder. Here comes another Dodge. DJ slams the door shut and gets down to the bottom.
Well, he tried to, but he got a little bit up high into the groove and opened the door about halfway. Beauchamp couldn't take advantage. He'll slot in behind the 17, so Kennington gets back in line with losing only a couple positions. That's some pretty good news for the Castrol Dodge driver.
Well, we take a look up front here. The top 10 tonight so far, 6 Dodges, 1 Ford, and the rest are Chevrolets.
We ride along board with Ron Beauchamp Jr. The top 2 starting to spread a little gap on the rest of the field. Kerry Mix and Don Thompson Jr. opening up a 2-car length lead as they work their way down the backstretch and into corner number 3. Pretty quick track as they dive hard on the right front.
Well, I'll tell you, for a flat racetrack, they certainly get around here in a hurry.
A multi-use facility is this St-Eustache Raceway. There's a drag strip, there's an oval. They really have it all here, don't they, Billy?
Well, they even have a road course out through the pit area. It's unbelievable.
Kerry Mix continues to lead the home hardware Chevy. Don Thompson Jr., Dave Whitlock holding down third. Again, a little gap back to 4th place. DJ Kennington, there's your points leader, the Milwaukee Tool Chevy of J.R. Fitzpatrick as we ride along board.
Well, you can hear how long you're off the throttle here, Dave. You got to float it on into the corner, wait till you get to the apex, then you turn the car with the throttle. Listen right there. You just turned it with the throttle and rolled down the straightaway.
Setup's important wherever we go. How important is it to hit the right setup here at St-Eustache?
Well, by far, this is the most important speedway we go to because it's flat. We keep talking about that. If you watch these cars coming off the corner, they hike that left front almost off the ground because they run so much wedge. Wedge being the cross weight between the right front and the left rear tire.
There's Richard Duravage in the My Epoxy Chevy as he tries to pin it down to the inside. That car never really been right since that big wreck in Cayuga a couple weeks ago.
Oh, we're under caution for the first time.
Caution flag flies, and it's for Steckley. He goes around in turn number 2, and there is the Herb Group Dodge of Scott Steckley. Gets it right, a little bit of damage to the nose of that car, and it looks like he will stay on the lead lap.
Well, young Steckley will be disappointed for sure. He's run well here in the past. He won at Barrie Speedway early on, and it's a fairly flat racetrack as well. We'll take a look at the Mopar replay here. Into the corner. There he is. He's just, he gets a little help from behind. Oh, not a good thing this early in the race.
I was on board with Andrew Ranger and Todd's down at Scott Steckley's pit.
Scott Steckley, the number 22 Charger along pit road. The crew goes to work to have a look underneath. They want to make sure, of course, the radiator not damaged and repair some of that body work. The 22 got into it with the 88 and Andrew Ranger. Back with more from St-Eustache in just a moment.
Kerry Mix leads the field here at St-Eustache as Sean Gibbs prepares the green flag for restart, number 1.
We'll take a look at Kerry Mix. He's still weaving the car back and forth. I'm not sure they communicated that we were going green this time by. Everybody's diving all over the place trying to get some racing room.
And there goes
Peter
Gibbons down to the inside. Wow, he got together with the Mopar Dodge from Ron Beauchamp Jr. Handy driving work from the number 1 of Peter Gibbons as he kept it straight. We're still under green with Kerry Mix, your leader.
Wow, he's got Thompson all over his back bumper right now. What a great job of driving down to the turn 1. Peter Gibbons keeping control of that Chevrolet.
How much will that restart and how Kerry Mix might have misjudged it affect his concentration in the first few laps under green here?
Well, he's a veteran. He'll get settled back in, start hitting his marks for sure. But boy, it surely is unsettling when you look in the mirror and see everybody going 3 wide into turn 1.
And there is Gibbons, and he's holding down 7th spot. Mark Dilley pressuring him in the number 9 Dodge. First view of Mark Dilley as he tries to make his way up through mid-pack starting spot for Dilley. Not too bad today. He's trying to keep the wheels underneath, and as is every other driver. Look at how quick Dilley is through the middle of the corner, though. That car is coming around nicely.
That'll work to his advantage as this race stretches out. The track will get a little slippery on the bottom, and the man who can get through the middle best wins.
On board now with Dave Whitlock as he takes a look back at Ron Beauchamp Jr. Still your leader is the 02 of Kerry Mix, followed by the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. Here's a look at the front to Whitlock.
Well, you see Ronnie working the wheel nice and steady on turn in. Car is just a little bit loose up off the corner, but not too awful bad for St-Eustache.
And Todd's down pit side with an update on a couple drivers.
Guys, quick update on a couple of the French-Canadian drivers in tonight's event. Of course, Andre Courcelle making another appearance in the CASCAR Super Series. So there's an awful lot of racing in the province of Quebec. And, of course, Andrew Ranger behind the wheel of the 88 car. Very quiet on the radio now, according to Dave Jacobs, who we've seen in that car, of course, earlier this season. Not saying much, but Andrew Ranger, as we mentioned, running his first laps in the CASCAR Super Series stock car, and a stock car of any kind, is learning quickly here tonight.
Well, you know what? Bring a guy to St-Eustache for his very first stock car race on this flat little oval. If he makes it through this night unscathed, he's done a really good job.
You know what? He's done a really good job in a dirt modified before. Actually qualified for a really big race in Syracuse. His father, a perennial champion up at Autodrome Granby in a dirt modified. So, you know what? He'll come around in these stock cars. He'll figure out these things with fenders in short order for sure. As we take a look at the battle between Dilley and Gibbons. Dilley has gotten around Gibbons for 7th spot on the racetrack. Lapsevich chasing them. There's Brad Graham battling with Doug Brown for 10th spot, rounding at the top 10 here at St-Eustache.
Graham in the Logos Auto Parts Challenger Motor Freight Dodge. He's won CASCAR Sportsman races here before. He's a good shoe. Keep an eye on him later on in the race.
Back up at the front, a 3-horse race. It's Kerry Mix, Don Thompson Jr. and Dave Whitlock, but Ron Beauchamp Jr. losing a little touch. He's still within striking distance as those top 3 start to race back and forth. That ground will close up in an awful hurry.
Well, that top 3 right there, they've all got history. They don't mind leaning on each other for a position. Mixie up front, he's hungry. He's got no sponsorship. Home Hardware Chevrolet, he's won 5 championships. And, of course, Whitlock back there, he's a championship contender as well.
The lap car of Richard Durabage doing a very good job getting down out of the way. Again, back at Cayuga. We spoke about it a little bit earlier. That 12 car involved in a very, very heavy wreck with the old 9 of Ken Noon. And Steckley in trouble again. The 22 of Scott Steckley. And it looks like the 88 of Andrew Ranger was involved again.
Well, 88 and 22, it's just looks like they're glued together tonight. There's a lot of damage in that left front in that 22 car.
You can see the left front towed way in as we'll go back on board with Andrew Ranger and see what happens.
Boy, same corner, same result. Oh, Lord. There could be a discussion after this race.
Absolutely. You can almost use the same Mopar replay as Steckley's crew takes a look at that right front tire, or the left front tire, excuse me, and looks like there's some heavy damage. He'll lose a lot of laps.
Well, that's Greg Gibson and Randy Steckley going to work to get that 22 repaired and back into the race.
Now take a look at the top 5 here. Kerry Mix and Don Thompson. That group coming back all the way back to the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. DJ Kennington has caught them as Beauchamp takes a look, and then he gets into the back of Whitlock. And Beauchamp takes a run down the back stretch underneath the 39 of Whitlock. Into the corner of the Gridley Heads Charger. Wow, things are heating up.
This is good racing. Beauchamp got position, give him a little love tap, and then Witt come down to close the door, and Beauchamp just nerfed him out of the way.
Really have to be aggressive here. You see Whitlock coming right across the bow of the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick as your points leader looks to get underneath the Gridley Heads Charger of Dave Whitlock now.
Well, Whitlock knew that the 84 car is looking at the big picture. You know, when he closes the door, he's not going to jeopardize that race car. He's going to give everybody lots of room.
Scanner Chris Cuvion of the 60 car telling Ron Beauchamp Jr. to take care of that car. But you know what? That right front brake rotor is already glowing red hot. He's got to keep in mind those brakes got to last the entire distance.
Well, Ronnie's using up the racetrack really well. You see the right front rotor just glowing bright red, but there's nothing in the back, so he's got a ton of front brake dialed into that race car.
Well, just as we're talking how tight-knit that pack has gotten, the 02 of Kerry Mix starting to check out on the rest of the field, opening up a 3-car length lead on the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. coming under heat in the Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Here he goes underneath, taking a look. But will he have enough into 3? No, not this time.
He's got a thing dialed in. It's turning the hook really good in the middle. There you take a look at the boys up on top of the pit box. We'll be back with more from St-Eustache after this.
Kerry Mix has opened up a big lead on the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. Now Thompson under pressure from the 60 Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr. on board with Thompson.
Down into the corner. Thompson gets a little high. Beauchamp fills a hole off the corner. Here comes that Mopar muscle of Ron Beauchamp Sr., and he's the leader at the line.
Boy, that didn't take long.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. Ronnie's using a ton of front brake, and these are only single piston calipers, so you can't boil the fluid.
Well, Beauchamp has had some success here at St-Eustache. Picked up his first ever win here way back in 1998 when he was the CASCAR East Series champion.
Well, he's still under a lot of pressure from behind. All these guys are hungry to win. Whether in the championship hunt or not, you come to every race want to win.
Looking back at the drivers, one of the last 2 oval races we've had in the CASCAR Super Series, Dave Whitlock now look a little bit further back in the field to the 25 of Jim Lapsevich, Brad Graham, the 10 of Doug Brown. This is a battle for 9th on the racetrack.
Down into turn 3, Graham, he's hugging that white line. Lapsevich, he's sliding a little bit, but they're fighting for that spot, tooth and nail.
And again, Thompson now sliding back in the field as the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick ducks underneath the 39. That's for 5th spot on the racetrack. Put J.R. Fitzpatrick up to 5th in your scoring books.
Well, here comes Dilly to fill the hole as well to put the boss a spot back.
No team orders there as Dilly gets underneath identically prepared race cars. Good look at the Thermal King of Quebec 22 of Scott Steckley, just turning laps after earlier troubles here tonight. He's had a rough one.
Well, not 1, but 2 incidents with the same car in the same corner.
So Kerry Mix continues to lead, now opening up a gap on the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Here comes the 9 of Dilly underneath the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. He stuffs it in there. Nice clean pass, and he's going to drag Whitlock along with him.
Well, we talked about it right from the opening game about turn 3 being the best passing zone in the racetrack. You get the inside groove, move him up a little bit off of 4, and seal the deal. As Gibbons in that #1 Monte Carlo, he's going to get by as well.
On board with J.R. Fitzpatrick in the Milwaukee Tool Chevy. There goes Gibbons. He'll tuck in front in the Canadian Tire Chevy, but Fitzpatrick looking to go high to low. Back underneath, he won't be able to do it this time. Brown now underneath the 25 of Lapsevich, as the 19 of Graham has already gotten by. There's the other Lapsevich, Jeff Lapsevich, in the Carhartt Monte Carlo. They touched Brown, and Lapsevich got together, and Lapsevich had to gather things up in corner number 2.
And the 23 Carhartt Chevrolet of his brother slides by while he's sliding up the racetrack. More action up front as Beauchamp really putting the pressure on Mixie.
Oh, Kerry Mix got a little loose coming out of corner number 2. That opened the door just enough for Beauchamp to get through. As the Mopar Dodge goes through, we have a lead change here at St-Eustache, and Beauchamp slides it off of 3.
Using that big Mopar horsepower off of turn 4, lights the tires up, does a really good job to gather up. Hey, there's Don Thompson Jr. He's going to lose a spot to the 17.
134 laps to go here at St-Eustache. DJ Kennington working over the number 4 of Don Thompson Jr. And just take a look at the intensity on the face of Don Thompson Jr.
Oh, he's focused for sure. As the 17 turned the hook a lot better than him that time. He slid up the racetrack, and the 17 DJ Kennington is going to gain the spot. There he closed the door. The deal's done.
Hats off to the 4 of Thompson, able to hang on to the outside for quite some time, but Kennington gets the deal done on the inside, the preferred groove here at St-Eustache. Kennington, Thompson, and Dilly running towards the rear in the top 5. Your leader continues to be the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Good look at him.
You take a look at the parity in CASCAR. Again, we started this race in the top 10. We had 6 Mopars, 3 Chevrolets, and a Ford. And look up front, it's the same mix. Ford, Dodge, and Chevrolet all in the top 3.
Billy, we see these cars going down the straight. The front valence is way up in the air. There's a good shot of it. Look at them dive down into corner number 1. The nose just slams right to the ground. What have they done setup-wise to get these cars to hook?
Well, these guys are getting these cars as soft as they can with springs and shocks. So when you get on the gas, you fly the nose. That means it transfers all the weight to the rear wheels to get the maximum bite. And then when you get to the corner, when you get the brakes, it transfers all the weight back to the front so you can hook the corner.
Little secrets for flat racetracks, I guess.
Well, everybody has a different view, but that is the fast way around.
Jason Hathaway and Jim Lapsevich battling for 12th on the racetrack. There's the 02 of Kerry Mix, now running second after leading the opening nearly 50 laps here at St-Eustache. The 17 Dodge Charger, Castrol Dodge, DJ Kennington running third all by himself, trying to chase down Mix, who is trying to chase down Beauchamp.
Well, Ronnie Beauchamp's starting to lap cars now. This is really going to get interesting as lap traffic will become a factor.
Well, Beauchamp putting a lap on the 25 of Lapsevich, the NC Tim Hortons Monte Carlo going a lap down. Beauchamp lapping up to 13th. There's a look at the 3 of Jason Hathaway as they were running for Rookie of the Year, actually leading the Rookie of the Year standings here in the CASCAR Super Series, just ahead of your leader.
There's a fight back there. That's the 4 Home Hardware Chevrolet and the 9 of Dilly. They are fighting for 4th spot.
And then Whitlock losing touch with that battle as well. Looks like Don Thompson Jr. starting to drift back. Just a touch as we hear from his spotter telling about Dilly on his back bumper. And we've got trouble up in corner number 4. It's Lapsevich in the 23, and caution comes out, and Lapsevich pulls out just in front of second place runner Kerry Mix. But wow, Mix had to be on his game there.
Wow, Lapsevich got hard into the fence coming off of turn 4, and then trying to stay in the lead lap, got back out. There it is, right there. We caught the end of it. He hit hard coming off of turn 4, then pulls right out in front of Kerry Mix.
Just grabbing here and got going, and Mix had to be really heads up to miss that in order not to ding the 23 of Lapsevich. Todd's down pit side in the 39 pit.
Dave Whitlock making the stop during the second caution period of the night. The crew goes to the far side to change the 2 right side tires. They will also come back and change the 2 left side tires. All 4 for Dave Whitlock. We'll see how this strategy pays out. Don Thompson Jr. behind him now making his way ahead. Quicker off pit road, only a 2-tire change.
Wow, right off the top, I didn't think there'd be any pit stops here tonight, but they obviously think they're wearing tires worse than I thought. We'll be back with more from St-Eustache.
CASCAR field double up as Ron Beauchamp Jr. slowly brings the field to speed here at St-Eustache for restart number 3, approaching lap 91. Again, slow off of quarter number 4.
There's Sean Gibbs with the green flag in the air as they hustle into turn 1. Beauchamp clears the lap car, leaves Mixie on the outside.
Oh, this is going to help Ron Beauchamp Jr. through 1 and 2 as Kerry Mix battles with Jim Lapsevich. Now he clears him down the back straightaway, but look at that gap that's opened up after just 1 corner of getting caught on the outside of a lap car.
Oh, Beauchamp grabbed himself a couple car lengths for sure, and then there's 2 or 3 back to DJ Kennington.
That's Don Thompson Jr. asking his crew if they still have to come in for a pit stop. He got a black flag because his refueler did not have the proper safety equipment on when he refueled the car on the last pit stop. So we'll see. CASCAR still deciding, but it looks like Thompson will be shown the black flag, and he'll be pitting this time by.
Don Thompson Jr. in the Home Hardware Chevy, stop and go, black flag penalty, jury green because of a safety infraction during their 2-tire pit stop. He's going to try and avoid going a lap down, fellas.
Well, he's going to have to hustle and put the muscle to it, but he is a very strong race car, and he's awesome under pressure.
Anytime he can put the 5-time CASCAR Super Series champion a lap down, you want to do it. So you know Ron Beauchamp Jr. sees that 4 car at the end of the straightaway, and it's like a piece of cheese to a mouse. He's going to go after it, but Kerry Mix is coming after the leader.
Wow. And the 3 car around backwards. Caution's out.
Caution number 5 for Jason Hathaway in the 3 car, the Snap-on Dodge, as he goes around, and he'll refire and stay on the lead lap. He had made his pit stop, so he was back there in traffic. We'll take another look at it.
Oh, it looks like maybe just a little bit of contact going into turn 1, and Hathaway's around backwards.
So he'll swing by pit lane one more time, get 2 new right side tires after likely damaging those. Peter Gibbons is in the pits as well. No tire change, just some tire pressure adjustments, and Don Thompson Jr. makes another stop.
Well, Don Thompson Jr., the 5-time champion, gets the caution when he needs it, and we'll be back with more from St-Eustache.
Just past the halfway point here at St-Eustache as Sean Gibbs gets ready to throw the green to Ron Beauchamp Jr. as he leads this 200-lap event.
Both the first and second place cars cleared the lap car this time into turn, and all 3 of them cleared the lap cars in turn 1 and down the backstretch, nose to tail.
Well, Steckley struggling after being involved in 2 spins earlier on today. He had significant damage to the left front, so he's obviously not quite up to speed in that Thermo King of Quebec 22. So he'll tuck it down to the inside as the leaders go by, no problem, top 3. And then there's a small separation back to the 4th place car of Mark Dilley. Kerry Mix hanging in there, though, trying to set his sights on the leader one more time.
Mixie's car just a little bit loose off the corner. He's really got to chase it down the straightaway.
Battle for 6. Brad Graham has it. Doug Brown wants it. And there's Dave Whitlock all the way back in that pack.
Brownie gives him a whack, and the 19 gets loose. And here comes Whitlock to the bottom. He gets to the side of the 19. They're all stacked up.
Oh, Brad Graham doing some off-road driving down the infield. You saw that car get awfully light as he hit a bump down into the grassy area, but he gets back on the gas, cleans those tires off in quarter 3 and 4, and he's back at it.
Wow, who says CASCAR racing ain't exciting?
And again towards the front, the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. working his way around the Canadian Tire number 1 of Peter Gibbons. Here's for the lead. Kerry Mix gets a bumper on the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Now a fender.
Horsepower down the backstretch. It's AP against Beauchamp. Beauchamp wins that one.
But the AP motor in a well-handling race car, the 02 of Kerry Mix, as he pinches it down to the inside, and Mix takes another look down the front chute, but he can't complete the deal going into quarter number 1. He's right up there, though.
Man, racing for the lead. This is clean. They're nose to tail, not touching. This is awesome racing up front.
Beauchamp Jr. driving it in a ton as he gets up to the outside groove. He opens that inside lane one more time. Mix can't take advantage. They go another lap just like that, but closing the gap behind these 2, the 17 of DJ Kennington and the 9 of Mark Dilley. Here comes Hathaway.
Well, there they are, side by side down the backstretch. That is a battle for 7th place.
Take a look who's lurking. There he is, the number 4 Home Hardware Chevy of Don Thompson Jr. Almost a lap down. just a handful of laps to go, and now he is up inside the top 10. Gibbons there too, looking for an edge on the racetrack, and Todd's down in his pit with one of his crewmen who has found that edge.
Guys, teams along pit road are, of course, always looking for any advantage they can get. I'm, of course, wearing the mechanics wear gloves because it's cold out here tonight, but Mike Grove and Pete Gibbons' team has got the latest innovation. Of course, you want to have the best view possible when you're changing tires and doing work on the car. Of course, you've got the gloves to protect yourself from the hot temperatures, but how about those LED lights built right into the gloves? Helps when you're trying to change those tires quickly.
Well, for sure, for safety and speed alone, some of these short tracks, the pit roads are very dark, so we need all the help we can get.
Absolutely, but you got to give a hats off to track owner Claude Aubin, a beautifully prepared facility, and lots of stuff packed in here, so you always get a good race when the CASCAR Super Series come to town, like this one, a battle for 6 on the racetrack.
Well, that's on board with Whitlock, looking back to the 3. Hathaway's got a real good shot at him. Hey, get a little blue paint in the bumper to prove it.
Look at that. All over the back of him. Now Whitlock gets a little crooked. You hear those tires just give way as Hathaway now gets underneath him, going into corner number 3. They're side by side. They touch again.
Hathaway muscles Whitlock out of the way, takes the spot. He's got it done. Don Thompson Jr., he wants in on the action.
Well, Thompson looking to get up to 7th now as we take a look back at the front of the field. Still the Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Kerry Mix way on the outside of the lap car, and he's going to lose a couple spots.
Wow, we said earlier about how bad the 12 car was handling. Mixie gets out on the outside of that lap car, gets shoved way wide, and he loses 2 spots.
And now Marvel's starting to build on that second groove as well here, so you don't want to get too far out here at St-Eustache, or you will end up just like Kerry Mix, and now sitting in 4th.
There's the man up front right now. Ron Beauchamp Jr. is really starting to put some distance to the second place car.
71 laps remain here at St-Eustache. There is Don Thompson Jr. working over the 39 of Dave Whitlock for 7th on the racetrack. And hats off to the Home Hardware crew. Perseverance, definitely the word in their pit here today. Almost going a lap down after trouble in a pit stop, and now they're working their way back up through the field. It's a good look at Sean Gibbs as we take a look. 1 lap with the starter. What is he looking for in the racetrack here, Billy?
Well, he's the traffic cop here. You know, he uses flags to communicate to the drivers, just like you seen that blue flag there. That was telling the lap cars to move over. The leaders are coming and give them room. He's watching the whole racetrack. He's looking for cars bumping. He's looking for good racing. He is the traffic cop.
He must have to have eyes in the back of his head at some times, because some of these bigger racetracks, you got to look all over.
Well, he does a good job, you know. It's a big responsibility to be up there controlling this race.
He just went on board with a Mopar Dodge. Ron Beauchamp Jr. now all alone at the front of the field, and now we ride along with Andrew Ranger and the Kangaroo TV. Lou's Barbecue Ford Taurus going a lap down, just trying to get some seat time here in his first CASCAR Super Series ride.
Well, welcome to stock car racing. Whitlock back to the inside of Hathaway. Back in the inside, he muscled his way through. Will he do it again? Oh, he does! Well, he's really trying to anger Whitlock there. Perry Dodge is going at it. Whitlock will give it back there. He has no fear.
Well, look at this. While they were battling, the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. went around the outside of the 3 of Jason Hathaway. Wily veteran move by Don Thompson Jr. as he watched that unfold in front of him, then took advantage. Now he's working on the 39 of Dave Whitlock as Hathaway settles down behind this duo. He'll make another run. Don't you worry about that. But you got to think the spotter is telling Hathaway, just play it cool. There's still lots of laps to go.
Absolutely. A rookie in this league, the last half of the season, they've been coming on real strong. Whitlock goes around.
Was he touched? This will draw the caution as the Gridley Heads Dodge Charger of Dave Whitlock gets spun back around right in front of the leader, Ron Beauchamp Jr., so he'll stay on the lead lap, but we'll need a Mopar replay definitely to see what happened there to Dave Whitlock.
Down into the corner, we're looking out back. Don Thompson Jr., the 4 car right behind him. Down in the corner, nope. Whit all by himself, and around he goes. Well, Dave, you know, there was a lot of beating and banging going on, so we might have cut down a tire.
Pit stop time, and Todd's down in the 0-2 pit.
Kerry Mix followed by Dave Whitlock along pit road during this caution period. It'll be 2 right side tires for both teams. Dave Whitlock, of course, spun in corner number 2. That was the cause of the caution. They're going to check all 4 tires and also make a significant wedge adjustment to the number 39. And now it's the race off pit road. Dave Whitlock is going to win. Back with more from St-Eustache in just a moment.
Welcome back to the second last round of the 2006 CASCAR Super Series. Ron Beauchamp has led since lap 66 as we restart on lap 144 here at St-Eustache.
Well, it's a trio of Mopars up front with J.R. Fitzpatrick and that lone Chevrolet sitting in fourth.
Well, a slight misstep by the 0-2 of Kerry Mix, and then he went down pit lane. So Mix will try and work his way back up through the field on this tight 0.4 of a mile oval. Beauchamp has been solid all day long. So is the 17 of DJ Kennington, who started on the outside pole.
Well, DJ just looks to me like he's just been biding his time, saving the tires, saving the brakes. His rotors haven't been glowing near as bad as the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr.
The 0-2 of Kerry Mix starting to work his way back up through the field. He's following the Canadian Tire Chevy of Peter Gibbons. There's a big group in front of him, including lap cars Scott Steckley and the CarQuest number 5 of Andre Corsol. But Brad Graham, Dave Whitlock, Gibbons all on the lead lap. The 23 of Jeff Lapsevich in the Carhartt Chevy, also a lap down after an earlier incident.
Well, this has been great racing, Dave. I'm telling you, this is a short track at its best. We got lap cars involved. We got the leaders nose to tail. We got the top 10 racing all over the place.
Under 50 laps to go now. How much are these cars starting to get light as you go down to the corner? You see them start to wiggle under braking. Are the cars starting to wear out?
Well, the tires are starting to wear for sure, but they've already blown my theory. I thought we'd do this race with no pit stops, but you know what? When you're on the tail end of the lead lap or just outside the top 10 and the caution comes out, get to pit road, make some adjustments, and get that car to the front.
You might as well roll the dice as we had 47 laps to go here in the St-Eustache 200. Ron Beauchamp Jr. leads. The 17 of DJ Kennington. We got trouble. The 19 of Brad Graham smoking off in corner number 1. And the 39 of Dave Whitlock also off as caution flies. And it looks like Whitlock's day is really done. That thing up in smoke.
Well, Whitlock's got smoke all over the place. I'll bet money that's a motor for sure.
But are these separate incidents? We saw the 19 of Brad Graham with sparks down the front straightaway. Then we saw the 39 of Dave Whitlock sliding off in corner number 1. We don't know if they're connected or if they're... So John Logold telling the 19 or asking him if something happened, and Brad Graham reporting that something just let go.
And Steckley, he's done for the night as well with a motor problem. He's certainly going to look forward to getting away from St-Eustache.
The wheel and engineering safety crew out to clean things up, and Todd's on the radio with second place runner Kennington.
DJ, Todd Lewis, you got me okay? Okay, DJ, Ron's got a pretty strong car. Have you got something for him at the end? Thanks, DJ. Good luck tonight.
So Kennington only has a handful of laps left to do it as Ron Beauchamp Jr. leads the St-Eustache 200 here in Quebec, and we'll be back with more.
Welcome back to Autodrome St-Eustache. Brad Graham still strapped in the Challenger Motor Freight Locals Auto Parts Charger. The crew working feverishly to repair a broken trailing arm mount. They want to get him back out, get as many points as we're about to go back green racing.
Well, you talk about points, Jason. Those guys are doing a great job putting that control arm mount back in there in the lower control arm and getting them back out to log laps. Beauchamp Jr. continues to lead as we go to green once more.
20 laps to go here at St-Eustache with Ron Beauchamp Jr. leading a couple other Dodges. The 17 of DJ Kennington, the 9 of Mark Dilley. The front two get away cleanly. And then Dilley does as well down the backstretch.
Well, look at all the oil drive flying up as those guys race down through there for the first time. Those cars don't stick real well on oil drive.
Couple Chevys rounding up the top 5 as well. J.R. Fitzpatrick and the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. as the 60 of Beauchamp is hustling it down through 3 and 4.
And talk about hustling. There's Kerry Mix trying to get back to the front. That's for 8th position.
25 of Jim Lapsevich is a lap down, running in 10th spot. Mix all over the back of him. He wants to go. He doesn't want to wait 1 minute. Now Mix will duck to the inside down the back straightaway. Down into corner number 3. He'll have that spot when they exit corner 4 for sure.
Oh, Lapsevich did a great choice there. Kerry Mix had just part of a fender on him. And if you're racing with Kerry Mix, if he needs 3 feet, he's only got 2. Look out, he's going to get her.
And so Thompson looking underneath the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Right behind that duo, the 3 of Jason Hathaway, the 1 of Peter Gibbons, as we ride on board with your points leader, young J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Well, Fitzpatrick's still looking at the big picture here. He needs to finish and finish well to continue on with this points championship. Sorry, Peter Gibbons ducks underneath the 3. That's for 5th or 6th position.
Boy, Hathaway got way up out of the groove, and look at how quickly that hole filled up with the 2 of Kerry Mix. Man, Mix is on a charge. That's for 7th spot on the racetrack. And now Mix looks at the 1 of Peter Gibbons. Hathaway tries to duck back in behind the 2 to follow this guy through. He knows Mix is going to go to the front, so Hathaway wants to be a part of that train.
I'll tell you what, the former Ironman, Kerry Mix, he's on a mission right now, getting that Ford Taurus back to the front.
There is the 84 and the 4 teammates. Fitzpatrick and Don Thompson Jr. Mix now in the back bumper, the 1 of Gibbons, and Gibbons loose. That opens the door for Mix. A 6th spot on the racetrack up for grabs.
Well, Kerry was able to turn the corner a lot better than Peter Gibbons. Gibbons won't quit, though. He's on the outside. He'll pinch him down into the corner. This is side by side to turn 3.
Side by side, Gibbons finally gets back down in line, and Hathaway gets up into the 1 of... Oh, and again off of 4, they get together. Gibbons has to do a whole lot of steering to keep that one straight.
Boy, the 3 of Hathaway, he's super aggressive tonight. He's trying to prove to these veterans that he belongs in this CASCAR Super Series.
Gibbons, though, hangs on to 7th spot in front of the 3 of Jason Hathaway for a few more laps, but that 1 car looks like it's going away. He's awfully loose the last few laps.
But Peter Gibbons, being the veteran that he is, he can drive a loose car probably better than anybody in this series.
Now Dilly working over the 17 of DJ Kennington. They touch coming out of corner number 4. A tight racetrack. Rubbins racing, as they say, as Dilly paints the back bumper of the 17.
Transfer a little bit of that Mopar red to the back of that Castrol Dodge.
While these 2 duel, though, the 60 of Ron Beauchamp Jr. is getting away in the front. The Mopar Dodge has been quick all night long.
Well, the best thing you can do as a leader, you look in the mirror and see those guys beating and banging on each other. All you got to do is hit your marks and go, oh, Don Thompson Jr. around backwards in turn 2.
And Thompson, in a cloud of smoke, stopped up in corner number 2. The 0-2 of Kerry Mix was right in there as well. We'll have to check the Mopar replay again to see what happened here. Did Mix get into him, or did Don Thompson get around on his own? Take another look at it here.
Down into turn 1, nose to tail. The 4 checks up early. Mixie was on the power really early. Donnie was holding him up, and around he went.
And this sets up a 2-lap dash. A green-white checkered look from another angle. Thompson did a good job at keeping that thing off the wall, so he will be able to make the restart, but you saw the back tires almost come up off the ground as Mix got into him. Now a single file restart. A green-white checker to settle it here at St-Eustache. Beauchamp, Kennington, and Dilly your top 3. Green flags up, and we're underway.
It's a shootout now as we go down into turn 1. Gibbons is trapped on the outside. Hill horsepower down the backstretch, side by side with Kerry Mix, but it's Beauchamp into turn 3.
Did you see Mix get down to the inside off that restart? Looks like he may have got a spot. And CASCAR radio's telling us, yes, a black flag for Mix for jumping the start. White flag up, 1 more lap to go.
Oh, we got 3 Mopars up front. One last time down the backstretch. It's Beauchamp, Kennington, and Dilly.
Kennington all over the back of the 60 Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr. Nose to tail they go through corner number 4. Beauchamp's going to lead him off of 4, and he's going to take his 5th career CASCAR Super Series win. Kennington and Dilly will round out the top 3 as the crew celebrates here at St-Eustache.
Well, the top 3 are Mopars. That's a great finish here at St-Eustache. We'll be back with Victory Lane celebrations after this.
Ron Beauchamp Jr. celebrates as he brings the Mopar Dodge Charger home to a victory lane here at St-Eustache. The Autodrome St-Eustache played host to round number 9 in the Super Series. The local boys put on a great show in the truck division. Mix grabbed the pole for the Super Series race, and as the green flag flew, the CASCAR late model field roared under the guidance of the O2 Ford. Local open wheel star Andrew Ranger wasn't too friendly with Scott Steckley on this night. The 60 of Beauchamp made a strong charge through the field to take the lead. As the night wore on, the Lapsevich brothers had a hard go of it, while Graham got shuffled to the back in his Dodge. Rookie Hathaway was hard-nosed all night long. Brad Graham broke while Whitlock blew up in the same corner on the same lap. Thompson was cruising for a good points night before Mix had other plans. In the end, it was all Beauchamp as the Mopar team took the win. Well, Ron Beauchamp Jr. has wheeled his way to the winner's circle, and he's with our own Todd Lewis.
Look at the smile on the face of Ron Beauchamp Jr. as he climbs out of the Mopar Parts Charger. Fists pumping in the air. Ron Beauchamp Sr. already on the phone back home. What a car you had tonight.
Yeah, this Mopar X-Side, a mobile one, a Charger was awesome today, right from the get-go. The car was just under me all right there all race. I got to thank my crew chief, Chris, my dad for building the awesome engines, the whole crew. We've been working hard for this, and it's awesome.
Great win for Ron Beauchamp Jr. He leads 3 Dodges to the podium tonight.
Well, Todd, that'll also help Dodge in their fight for the Manufacturers' Cup.
We'll take a look at the Gridley Hens final results. Kennington Dilly rounding out the top 3. Fitzpatrick with a solid points night. How about rookie Jason Hathaway coming home in 6th? Todd's down with second place finisher DJ.
DJ Kennington, second place finish night. Not only did you battle all the competitors, but you said you weren't feeling too well.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I tried a different visor tonight, and I think maybe that might have caused it, but I had a really bad headache there for the last half of the race. But hey, it's a good run for the Castro Dodge. My guys worked hard, and it's about time we turn this around a little bit. So that's for my dad and everybody that worked so hard. We appreciate all the help.
Yeah, frustrating season for DJ Kennington, but a good run tonight.
A frustrating season indeed, but this second place finish will push him up into the top 10 as we take a look at the Castro point standings. J.R. Fitzpatrick now with a commanding lead, 51 points over Kerry Mix, heading into the last race of the season. Don Thompson Jr. well back, 69 points back. Todd's down with third place finisher tonight, Mark Dilley.
Mark, second race in a row, battle your way up onto the podium. Another nice finish tonight.
Yeah, it was a good race, pretty high for us here. This is not one of my strongest tracks, so for us to get on the podium here is huge for Dodge. 3 Dodges, 1, 2, 3 again, which is excellent. I hope that puts the clinch on the Manufacturers' Cup for CASCAR again for the second year. It'd be real big for Daimler, Chrysler, and the Mopar line and Dodge, and just everybody. You know, I can't thank the sponsors enough. We had a bit of a tough start, and you know, though we've picked it up the last little bit. Mobile One X-Side, Leland Avenue, just everybody, CRS Trucking, and obviously Dodge. I can't thank them enough.
Great run.
Thank you.
Well, we've had 8 different winners in 10 races, Dave. Ultra competitive.
Well, that's right, Billy. 6 drivers all within 100 points as well. The St-Eustache 200 is brought to you by Castrol GTX, maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. By Leland Industries, quality fasteners, quality service, driven to win. By Home Hardware, help is close to home. And by Fast Eddie Racewear. Get geared up.
And we'll see you next from the grand finale, the Kawartha Dodge Charger 250. Can JR do it, be the youngest champion ever at 18 years of age?
Well, we'll see you there. Answer that question and more from Kawartha Speedway. From all of us here at James Robinson and Associates, we thank you for joining us here in St. Eustache. We'll see you next time.